February is shaping up to be a rough month in the stock market. Here's why and my thoughts and what I'm doing about it in our portfolio on eToro. Now, the reason it's shaping up to be a tough month in the market is it's seasonally a weak period. Over the history of the stock market, February is seasonally weak, coming off oftentimes a Santa Claus rally and a seasonally stronger January. February usually ends up being a bit weak. Now, not only that, in the past 20 years, let's bring the time frame down a little bit, in the past 20 years, seasonally February has brought a return of a negative 0.1%. You may say that's not too bad, but the best it's given in the past 20 years is just over 5%, and the worst year February's had in the past 20 years is just over 11% during that global financial crisis of 2008-2009. So lost just over 11% in the market those years. In one of that year during the GFC. Now, other things that come into play is the S&P oscillator. As of the close of trading on the 29th of January, that sat at a 2.98. Let's call it 3. And reason that's a sign as well is it's showing that the market's starting to get overbought. Once it hits a 4, then it's sign that it's giving that it's overbought. When it's negative 4, it's oversold. And so the S&P oscillator is showing as we approach and go into February that it's showing signs of being overbought. We're entering February at a very volatile time as well, with a lot of news and information coming out. We've got the Fed meeting, we've got earnings reports from Apple, Amazon, Meta, over $10 trillion in earnings reports this week as we go into February. And then this Friday, we've got the jobs number for January. And so all this stuff happening as we enter into February. Here's how we're playing it and what we're doing on our investment portfolio in eToro. We've withdrawn our profits. We've taken profits, and if you haven't taken any profits, then I'd probably suggest that you consider doing that. This is not financial advice, but I'd suggest that you at least consider it, looking at taking some profits in some of your positions. And so we've taken some profits. Our current portfolio, so it's very simple. We're going to be rebalancing our investments, putting a little bit into real estate as well over the next month. And so our current portfolio is very simple. We will be getting back into the market fully and such through VTI and VU and VUG and some other ETFs. If you have questions about those, comment below. But at the moment, we are invested in VXX. VXX is a volatility index for the S&P 500, and when things are volatile, it usually tends to do well. It is not a long-term hold. That is, it is not used to be a long-term hold. It is a hedge for our portfolio to protect against downside risk and to minimize the blow when the market goes down. And so again, it's not a long-term hold. We've also got some single stocks at the moment. We've got single investments in Tesla, in Nike, and with what's going on in China, we're stepping out a little bit. Again, not for a long term, because I'm wary of investing too much and too long in Chinese stocks. But Alibaba and JD.com. Now these are never a huge percentage of our portfolio in single stocks. We mostly do ETFs, never a huge percentage, but we see some potential in these stocks, especially after Tesla took its 12% dip after its report, and so I see some potential there. Now we also have a good chunk of cash sitting on the sideline, ready to go back into the market once we see a good opportunity. But that's how we're playing the portfolio and how we're playing the investments going into February. And I encourage you, just hedge your positions, be careful as we go into February. I do suspect with Easter being in March and coming a little bit earlier, It's usually a seasonally stronger period, and so I suspect we'll see a bit of a pick back up in March and such. But if you haven't followed along, if you haven't subscribed, join me on YouTube, TikTok, all the stuff, Instagram. Connect with me if you want to invest on eToro and you have questions. Comment below, send me a message. I hope you get started. I would love to be part of your journey. But again, this isn't financial advice. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day.